Hello Assassins, this is Gargudon for the ones who came before, and welcome. Over the last few weeks, 4 members from our team have been granted early access to Assassin's Creed Shadows and have had the opportunity to play the game early. After dozens of combined gameplay hours and a number of impressions, these are our initial thoughts on the new highly anticipated yet fateful installment, which could be the single most important game that Ubisoft have ever released, as the fate of the company may ride on its success. It's a game that media outlets have pitched as a make-or-break title for Ubisoft after a difficult financial year. So does Assassin's Creed Shadows do enough to turn the tide? We'll be exploring this and much more in this first spoiler-free review of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's dive into it. The world of Assassin's Creed Shadows is incredibly beautiful and full of opportunities. The dynamic weather cycle adds depth to exploration and also makes it possible to notice the passage of time. Shadows is the first AC game built solely on current-gen technology, meaning less restrictions and more possibilities, pushing the game to the very best it can be. Vibrant colors contrast against the dark night, adding a layer of beauty to a land of war and politics. The weather can massively impact decisions for players, as a windy day can turn into a storm, making it easier to attack, whilst a sunny afternoon makes the chances of being spotted more likely. You can also feel the wind in the game as trees and nature respond to it. There is a distinct balance of violence and beauty, contrasting between conflict and slower moments such as art, eating, celebrating, ordinary everyday actions that make the world feel more authentic to the period. The new method of synchronization encourages players to unfold the map for themselves, highlighting points of interest rather than revealing everything at once. This encourages exploration and takes players deeper into the world of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Japan is full of opportunities and provides an atmospheric sense of uncovering the next secret, creating a rewarding journey for players. Throughout the world, players will uncover Shinto shrines which can provide temporary bonuses. Additionally, there are white orbs that appear in certain locations, and these are the Codex entries, similar to how they appeared in 2023's Assassin's Creed Mirage. If you wish to find all of them, as they do not appear on the map, you will have to find them. This action and design decision encourages exploration. Although the scenery is visually appealing, Japan is also a land of danger. Navigating it will take some thought and skill as enemies lurk in the shadows. It's a truly immersive experience. A major part of this Japan world is also building a network of spies and scouts who can provide intel when deployed correctly, or assist players when called upon. The life of an assassin is pain. This quote by the legendary Ezio Auditore perfectly embodies Naoe, and channels it, using her pain as motivation to strike against her enemies. She was trained as a shinobi by her father for 2 years prior to the start of the game, and the shinobi have hidden blades and seems to have been trained or influenced by the assassins, possibly by Xiao Jun's Chinese Brotherhood. As a native Japanese, she has a clear understanding of the culture and fits in perfectly in the world. She's very fast and agile, and you can feel the difference when playing as her compared to the big brute of a warrior, Yasuke. Yasuke is an outsider in a foreign land, possibly Mozambique in southeastern Africa, who gains the interest of Oda Nobunaga, who sees his potential from the offset. Initially known as Diogo, a slave captured by the Portuguese, he takes back control of his situation by learning the language and customs of Japan. Theme of a stranger in a strange land, he is immediately an outsider, not only due to his skin color but also his height. So the native Japanese see him as a giant. He has to fight for his place among the samurai in Nobunaga's presence, as well as forging a name for himself. But once a samurai, he has interactivity in the world, as NPCs will bow to him when walking around the world, and he will be acknowledged by other samurai. Especially in combat, he is a tank, as when you control him, he feels very heavy and slow to move. Now he's lightweight and nimble, moving effortlessly, which fits perfectly with the game's revamped parkour system that has been fully redeveloped. Gone are the days of every surface being climbable like in Origins. This has been replaced with a similar system seen in the Ezio Trilogy and Kenway Saga games, with a definite parkour start and finish alongside path markers like bridges and ropes. Now each rope can allow her to reach high places, but it can't be used as a rope between buildings. Yasuke has increased health due to his stature and heavy armor. He is lethal in combat due to his huge arsenal of weapons and abilities. In combat, players have the objective of destroying armor before delivering the killing blow, breaking down opponents and catching them off guard. And he truly does not hold back in terms of combat brutality and finishing moves. Each character has their own arsenal. Now he has her aforementioned tools alongside a katana, tanto, and a kusarigama, a long-range weapon. Yasuke has a more varied arsenal with a long katana, a kanabo, and naginata, alongside ranged weaponry consisting of a bow and a teppo, which is a version of an early firearm. Exclusive to him is the ability to parry unblockable attacks, as well as more health and 2 more health rations. Assassin's Creed Shadows introduces a new present-day story which is connected to the Animus Hub platform, the new overarching platform which acts as the home of the Assassin's Creed content. Immediately, players are introduced to the Animus Ego, an incredibly powerful piece of Abstergo marketing which is hacked by an unknown digital entity known as the Guide, a hologram which provides cryptic digital support. It's without a doubt the most visual and immersive Animus experience yet, but it would be a mistake to overly praise a modern day Animus experience that strips away gameplay entirely. From the offset, it's an engaging modern day storyline that calls back to the darker tones seen in previous titles, channeling the vibes that were present during the Subject 16 glyphs in AC2 and Brotherhood, as well as the erudito Animus hacking cutscenes in Assassin's Creed Liberation. The modern day air of mystery returns, something which will be a relief for old school fans of the Assassin's Creed Initiate's platform, as completing activities in-game unlocks information and data that is stored in the Animus Hub database. Through the Animus Hub, you have access to memories, projects, exchange, and vault. In memories, players will be welcomed to a timeline and are greeted with images of protagonists from recent AZ titles, such as Basim, Cassandra, and Eivor, booting up their memories as the hub acts as an all-in-one game launcher. Right now, only Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, Mirage, and Shadows are available. In projects, data streams are corrupted. These quests are tied to the Projects tab within the Animus Hub. These act as mini battle passes, and completing these tasks reward Helix keys. You can also find them randomly strewn across the world. You can use these keys at the exchange, which replaces Reader's shops with daily rewards. In exchange, this is Shadow's version of Reader's shop from Origins and Valhalla, where you can see the deal of the day or gear to spend those hard-earned Helix keys earned through projects. In the vault, you can find text, voice, or video files related to the modern-day overarching narrative that are unlocked through progression of Shadow's story and through levels completed through projects. When we recently attended the AC Shadows UK community launch event, Akim Millen, Director of Cinematography at Ubisoft Quebec, gave an exclusive, fascinating presentation showing the incredible depth of research and thought that went into the game's development. The game uses a wide range of camera angles, which take inspiration from a number of sources, such as Japanese cinema, anime, Western cartoons, and mainstream Western depictions of the East. These references can be seen throughout the game and have also appeared in the marketing campaign. For example, crash zooms, which appear in a number of films by, among others, legendary director Quentin Tarantino, famously appearing in the Kill Bill series. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, when an enemy of rank is revealed, the camera zooms in, revealing the true title of the enemy. The team really pushed to pay homage to and reference classic Japanese films in the game. Among others, there are callbacks to Akira Kurosawa's legendary 1954 film, Seven Samurai. More recently, in the 2023 film 47 Ronin, an infiltration with grappling hooks takes place in daytime, and this is something which the development team wished to replicate as players can't change the day and night cycle due to the dynamic weather feature. Another film references Naoe's rope dart, which draws inspiration from Mortal Kombat when used in combat. Cultural references from a wide range of historical sources have been included in the game. The hideout represents this and shows the normality of everyday life, with NPCs performing everyday tasks such as washing clothes. Due to the notable size differences between Naoe and Yasuke, during cutscenes, low-angle lenses were often used to make Naoe feel small in a gigantic world, grounding the camera work and giving perspective against the ever-present landscapes. Many times throughout cutscenes, over-the-shoulder camera angles were used to highlight distance, creating a sense of awkwardness. For example, when Naoe meets Letus, the camera angles purposely build tension by showing her as a small figure who's meeting someone of power, raised on a platform. There is an ever-growing sense of danger should she say the wrong thing. At times, there is a focus on forefront details as things go on in the background to draw viewers to facial expressions, an intentional artistic decision to highlight emotions, often fear, and show the power dynamic between the one kneeling and the one standing. For example, a sacrificial beheading scene. It's worth noting that Akim believes that Naoe at times is faking the submissive role, not making direct eye contact, looking away, something which causes tension. Iga is independent and remote, so didn't adhere to social hierarchy. As an Iga shinobi, she has been trained as an equal, but must succumb to the hierarchy and customs of respect that were prevalent in the period, or at least pretend to do so. Eye contact changes throughout the game depending on the relationship Yasuke and Naoe have with the character. This changes depending on the level of formality as they wish to present themselves correctly. The game presents the historical mandatory distance for addressing a person's power, the intentional awkwardness of being on the floor, giving a full bow, feeling a sense of fear, and no eye contact really comes across in the final product. Some cutscenes aim to be fully immersive with no talking whatsoever. Lots of cinematic shots in the game also look like paintings. The team really wanted to demonstrate the relationship between ink and blood, often using tones of red when calligraphy is represented, to give the sense that war is always looming, and the spill of blood can be caused by the beautiful and peaceful act of ink painting, such as giving an order. The color grade in the game is intentionally noticeable. The colors in the spring pop, and contrast and darkness of night which are incredibly dark compared to previous AC titles, making Naoe practically invisible. The hypersaturated colors also mean that the cherry blossom trees stand out in a vivid shade of pink. In conclusion, Assassin's Creed Shadows delivers one of the most immersive, meticulous, and realistic Assassin's Creed games and worlds to date. There is an attention to detail and realism like never before, featuring a narratively immersive story with many new interesting plot points and characters. As said, for Ubisoft's so-called make-or-break game, it delivers like never before, bound to attract a large number of players, whether long-time fans or people only getting into Assassin's Creed just now. In the past and present, this game introduces a new intriguing era for Assassin's Creed, which is bound to only get better with time. And that sums up our first impressions of and initial thoughts on the new highly anticipated installment in the Assassin's Creed franchise, finally heading to a fan favorite location over many years. As we spent more time with the game, getting further into the story along with the rest of you players, keep an eye out for a potential second review, diving into the story in more detail, discussing potential spoilers and more. For an in-depth look at and review of the game's photo mode, head to our main website, link to which can be found in the description. And of course, a massive thanks to Ubisoft and the Assassin's Creed team for providing us with early access to the game, allowing us to put out this review in advance leading up to the game's release this coming Thursday, March 20th. And finally, we hope you enjoyed this initial review, and we hope every one of you will enjoy your experience playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content on the game in the coming weeks, and follow the ones who came before, one of the leading AC fan sites and communities, on our socials to stay up to date on everything happening. Links can be found in the description. I have been Gargudon for the ones who came before. Stay safe, Assassins. Till next time.